Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live, and anybody that watched the watch along with me, I hope you're here to join us now. Arsenal 1, Watford 0. I'm sweating. I've never sweated so much sitting in one spot. How are you feeling after that, Jerome?
Exhausted, relieved, and I didn't think we were going to do it, to be honest, especially the way the first half panned out. But yeah, very, very happy. That is massive 3 points. That
massive 3 points. I spoke many times in the watch along about how these games are the important ones. We talk about Liverpool and Man City and title challenging and top 4 and all that, but it's the games against Watford, it's the games against Burnley, Norwich that we've previously dropped points in, that we need to make sure that we get these points. And we made it harder than it needed to be, because I thought we were the better team. Although we wasn't at our best, we were the better team by far. But it's just about being clinical, and that we weren't. Whether it was poor decision making, whether it was poor penalties, poor finishing, we weren't clinical, and that could come back to bite us in the backside sometime. But we got the 3 points. What's your feeling on it?
Yeah, like I said, just delighted to get out of there with a win. The way I think we did. I don't think we started as great as we have done in other games, and I was sort of feeling during the first half, you know what? I think this is going to be really hard work. I don't know if we're going to actually win this game. The movement wasn't as fluid. I thought in the first half, Smith Rowe was a bit quiet. I thought the link up with Lacazette and Aubameyang wasn't fantastic, although Lacazette done okay. Mm-hmm. And you know what it's like when you miss a penalty, you think, oh, is it going to be one of them days? I don't think anyone was probably confident with Aubameyang stepping up, just because he'd missed the last one. That was probably in everyone's mind. Uh-huh. And great save by the keeper, but
it wasn't a great penalty. It was not a great penalty at all, though, was it?
No, you know what? I think he was nervous, Aubameyang, because normally he puts it in the corner, whereas this one, I think he just sort of put his foot through it and thought, I'm just going to hope for the best. And
yeah, he kind of put it not just down the middle, but he didn't even put it down the middle. He put it down to the middle, put to the right and the left of the keeper. It was an easy high. He just didn't have the best of games today. He had a bit of a bear at points, to be fair, and then added on to the fact that Odegaard, with a lovely bit of footwork, then goes on to score, which would have just made the game just done and dusted. And then he gets his toe on it and he makes it offside. It's just like, it just felt like it's going to be one of them days. But like you said, we got the win, and that is all that's important.
Yeah.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles, key player. Do you feel like he was the key player? He got man in the match?
You know what? It's a funny one, Maitland-Niles. He done a lot of very good things. But I don't know if he's... For me, sometimes he just plays it a little bit too safe. But look, when you haven't played a lot in centre midfield and you get put in there, he done okay. He obviously, he's not a Thomas Partey, so he's not going to give you what Partey gives you. But I think he done okay for these one-off games.
Yeah,
he's all right. I thought obviously Lokonga seemed to be the main man in the middle in terms of he was receiving the ball from the defenders, and I think the play sort of was going through him more than Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles was more what you'd call just like sweeping up and making interceptions, keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Although he obviously done well for that, the first disallowed goal winning the ball. He done well. He done well, Maitland-Niles, but it's not something I would want to see like on a regular basis.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the player rated. But first of all, if you are watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, KS1 TV. or type in the Arsenal Show. You can find us there. Smash that like, smash that subscribe, and come into the comment section. We've got some people who've been watched through the watch along. You're not. Thank you very much for being there. You're not. There we go. Big up. You're not. He was there trolling me throughout the whole, giving me a debate. No, I appreciate that. It was all good. It's all good. So yeah, come over, say hello, hit that like and subscribe while you're over there. So let's get on to the player ratings. Okay, I want all you lot also add in your player ratings as well. If you don't agree, let us know. If you do agree, let us know. Give us your ratings as well. All right, let's start off. Aaron Ramsdale.
I'll give him a 7. He did have one moment of madness, didn't he? When he came out and missed the ball, and I think Josh King nearly scored. But apart from that, he was very good, I thought. Couple of good saves sort of from crosses. Was claiming everything well in the air, but that one moment did nearly cost us. But I think that was like it's a one-off really.
You feel safe with him, don't you? You feel safe because you feel like when the ball comes in the box and it can be claimed, he's going to try and claim it, and he's not going to try and punch it. You feel like he's going to get his hands on it and bring a bit of calmness to the defence, and that's what I feel like he's brought since he's come in. Yeah,
I don't want his sort of score to reflect just that one moment when he came out of his box.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd give him a 7. Ramsdale.
All right, Ramsdale gets a 7. What's everyone else giving Ramsdale? Ramsdale with a 7. Tomiyasu, ever consistent Tomiyasu.
Very, very good game, I thought, from Tomiyasu. Was winning balls in the air. Got forward a couple of times. Just sort of, it was like the splitting of the Red Sea. The waves just parted, and he sort of just ran through. In that time in the second half, I thought he was. I thought it was probably one of his better games, Tomiyasu. It's a 7 or an 8. Maybe an 8 might be too high, so I'll go with a 7.
Yeah, because I think I'd probably find it hard pushed to give anyone an 8 today. Just because they just didn't finish it off like they should have done. Yeah. Tomiyasu gets a 7. Gabriel
got a couple of times he got dragged to like the corner flag, didn't he? With like battles with Sarr.
He loves it though, doesn't he? Like he wakes up in the morning and instead of Weetabix, he pours like footballers that he's had in his pocket from previous weeks into his breakfast bowl and finish it off with milk. Like he loves the battle, and that's what you love about him. But he's also got that. He's Brazilian, so it goes without saying he can play.
Yeah.
Can you play? I'm Brazilian, mate. Like, and he's got that battle like Lucio. He's like a Lucio. Is he the new Lucio? Does anyone that know Lucio?
Yeah, very leggy, wasn't he, Lucio?
Bayern Munich. But he had like no neck, big shoulders.
Yeah.
He was built like a rectangle, well tall, and just aggressive. Like,
yeah.
He looked like a villain from a Bond movie or something. Lucio, check him out. But Gabriel, that kind of player. What are you giving him?
Yeah, probably a 7 again. To be fair, I think there might be a lot of 7s in this one.
Yeah, it's hard to go above that. I think some people get below that, but it's hard to go above that. Yeah. Benjamin White striking up a formidable partnership with Gabriel, isn't
he? Yeah, another good game from him. To be fair, he just reads the game so well. You see him sort of covering and moving into really good positions defensively. He's top draw against that. I thought. Ben White. If anyone was going to get an 8, it might have been him, perhaps. A couple of important blocks from shots.
Yeah, I like the way he breaks that defence as well.
A couple of really good clearances from his head as well.
Yeah.
Like when we was under a little bit of pressure. So yeah, probably another 7. But if anyone was pushing an 8, it might have been him.
All right, Ben White gets a 7. Sambi Lakonga, range of passing's good. Still a bit shaky at some points. He's still got that bit of rawness, but he's destined to be a player. in the future. But
he moves away from his other midfielders so well, like his body movement. He sometimes you think he's going to get caught in possession, and sometimes he does, like cheaply. But like I said, I think without Partey, I thought he sort of took the mantle of being like the main midfielder where the play was going through. He probably, I mean, I don't know any like stats at the moment, but in terms of like touches and passes, I reckon he might have had the most in the team, perhaps. Lokonga, everything seemed to go through him. So
what I like about Lokonga as well is he may make a mistake, he may do a missed pass, but he doesn't shy away from it. He comes back and tries it again and again, and his range of passing is so good. Passing around the corner, whipped in balls from about 30 yard balls. I really like him. For £15 million, we've got an absolute bargain there.
Yeah. Also, I know he's not at the top of his game, or he's like in the twilight of his career, maybe. But there was once he collected the ball and sort of moved away from Sissoko really well. And Sissoko's not a slouch, is he? He's quite known for his being quite a speedy player, and he's got that little burst of pace as well, Lokonga. Yeah. As well.
So, what are you giving Lokonga?
Probably the same as everyone else, to be fair.
7.
Yeah.
All right. Lokonga gets a 7. Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Ooh. Yeah. Fine. I'd say he had a steady game with a couple of like nice little standout moments. For him, he had a decent game, Maitland-Niles. But for me, just sometimes just plays it a little bit too safe, because he's got the ability to drive forward with the ball. Like he's got a lot of ability. I think with Maitland-Niles, a lot of it is just like in his head, like making the right decisions, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of his performance?
I thought it was quite assured. I thought, yes, he kept it simple, but I think there was an element of that what we needed in there. I thought remember that ball, the ball that he put in for the disallowed goal. For it was to Lacazette, I think it was, where he scooped it over the defence, dropped on Lacazette's foot, passed it to Aubameyang. Awful touch. Then went to Saka. Saka scored and was way offside. But that initial ball was a lovely ball, and I thought it wasn't until I heard Alan Smith, because I was struggling to think of a man in the match, like someone who's really been consistent the whole game and it's made a massive difference. Because yes, the defenders were consistent and they played well enough, but how much of a threat were Watford? They weren't really. And in that midfield, deputising or coming in for Thomas Partey, I thought he was right to get man of the match.
Yeah, fair play.
But what mark are you giving him?
Go on. Oh, I can't give him an 8. I can't give him an 8. It's got to be a 7. Yeah.
7. You can say high 7, but I can't give anyone an 8 today. I can't. I can't. Like, we won, so I'm not going to sort of dig anyone out, because the performance could have been a lot more fluid. We could have won that game 3 or 4-0, and should have done, to be fair. Watford were no real threat to us, and generally, like the players that are usually on form weren't so much today. Weren't like top today. Emil Smith-Rowe.
Yeah, like I said initially, I think a bit of a quieter game from Smith-Rowe. Wasn't poor, by no means was poor, but just didn't get involved as much as we would like him to. I feel harsh giving him a 6, because he didn't play bad at all, did he? Really?
But if it weren't for the goal,
he scored the goal.
Yeah, as well, but if it weren't for the goal, what would you have given him?
Yeah, honestly, probably about the same.
Yeah,
but yeah, like he was okay. He was okay, but it was one of them. You know what? Like, he could do with a rest. It was a bit like that. Like, he's played a lot. He puts it in, and because Smith-Rowe and obviously Saka are playing so well and so important to us, it is hard to rest them, because they're so good.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're our main players. Like, it shouldn't be the case that's where it is. but they're our main players. And when they do not play at the moment, it's very, very obvious. When there's no Smith Rowe and there's no Saka, very obvious.
Yeah. See, maybe a 6, but it's harsh. It's very harsh.
Yeah, look, Emil Smith Rowe's 6 for the goal would have been a 4 without. I don't opinions, but I can see where you're coming from. You're not, because it was one of them games for Smith Rowe where it was a bit like you've been in it here and there, but like I've not seen you that much. Not too much. I saw Saka a lot more. I saw the ball getting down to Saka quite a lot, and him trying to get the ball into the box and put it into dangerous spots. But I don't remember seeing you too much in those dangerous spots. But like you said, he got the goal. So what are you going to give him?
I got to give him a 7. I can't do it. Can't do the geezer that scored the winning goal. Give him the lowest point than anyone else.
Yeah, I get that. Saka.
He was good. Saka. He was causing of it. Like a lot of our play went down his side, didn't he? Mm-hmm. He had a lot of the ball, Saka, and a lot of opportunities to take Danny Rose on, and Danny Rose didn't really know if he was going to go. Because he can do both. He can go down the line. He can cut in. He was doing both. Saka. Mm-hmm. It's not one of his best games, but I thought he was good. Constant threat.
Yeah.
He probably gets the same as the others, to be honest, because
it's hard to give anyone above a 7 if the man of the match got a 7.
Yeah. So I'd probably go for a 7 for Saka.
Yeah, I thought Saka was one of our more dangerous, or probably our most dangerous player, apart from Aubameyang, who was just dangerous for the wrong reasons. Saka was a constant threat with regards to whipping that ball in, winning free kicks. He's just becoming more of an asset for our team, and he's probably our best player. Performance wise, there's probably players in the team that have got better ability in certain aspects of their game going forward, but he's all round playing what he brings each game, where he's just constantly driving at the fullbacks. Like, could you imagine playing against Saka? You'd see the team sheet, see him on it, you'd be like, I don't know, boss. I don't know if it's me today, because you just know he's going to be for 90 minutes. He's going to be coming down your wing, constantly taking you on. And now he's starting to bring a couple of step overs and whatnot into his game, and little nice cute touches into his game. So this kid's bar is endless. Very good player, and got a lot of time for little Chile. Alexandre Lacazette, aka he's Lacquer 10 bellies. He's not got the 10 bellies that he did in that West Bromwich Albion game, I think it was. He's lost his weight. He's becoming more of an asset into the team, linking up play. How do you think he played today?
Funny one, Lacazette. I don't think as good as what he has played the last couple of games. I thought he, to be honest, the funny thing is, the second half, I thought normally when he tires, I thought he did better in the second half than in the first half. The first half, I thought he was really hardly involved at all, to be honest. But he done all right. He had a couple of nice passages of play when he held the ball well, turned the defender. But it always looks like the ball's stuck under his foot, and he's. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird.
In the first half, he was frustrating me a little bit because he was trying the little deft touches, the little flicks around the corner, and they weren't coming off. And I don't mind it when you're doing that kind of playing that kind of football, but when it's not worked a couple of times, you just need to get it down and keep it simple. And it was frustrating me that he wasn't doing that. In the second half, I agree, he was better. He won a penalty. And again, that comes from Lacazette being in the right place, going for that ball. Kevin Friend, how the hell Danny Rose got through that game without a yellow card, I am absolutely astounded at. I don't know how that happened. Lacazette, Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be giving him a 7. What
Nah.
are you giving him?
Yeah, we'll give him a 6, Lacazette.
All right, Lacazette, because you won the penalty, Lacazette. And the second half, you was a bit better. Lacazette gets a 6. Pierre, oi Pierre, can we have a chat, mate?
God, yeah.
Today. And it weren't for lack of effort. It was not for lack of effort because he was trying his hardest for us not to put in that second goal. He definitely had a bet on with 365, which said Arsenal going to win this 1-0 because the penalty, awful. Odegaard's shot, which was going in, which he started to get his toe on, and it's disallowed.
Can I just ask? Can I just ask? Because I was watching it on a different, like with different commentators and different camera angles. Was that going in Odegaard's shot?
Yeah.
Did they show if it was? Did they show if it was like?
Yeah, they showed an angle where it would have crept in at the post. It would
like hit the post and hit the post and in.
Yeah, it would have hit the post and gone in. It had enough on it, and I could tell why Odegaard was annoyed because it did really look like a striker just trying to nick a goal. That's what it looked like. Because it looked like it was going in as well. And then Aubameyang got his toe on it, which I mean, we won the game, so it doesn't really matter now. But that really annoyed me at that point because it's like
and
you can't take him off.
He was really annoyed on the guard, wasn't he?
He was well annoyed. Which I like to see. But it was not good from Aubameyang today. Again, the penalty awful. The shot and I forgot about the touch for which would have been he would have scored if his touch was better for that first goal.
That was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, that was terrible.
Hit his shin. That was so bad. Like 3 goals. 3 goals. God. Yeah, were essentially disallowed today through Aubameyang on his own. A missed penalty and 2 disallowed goals. Like,
oh my God,
yeah. So he had a mare. There's no 2 ways about it. He had a mare. But how much of a mare did he have? Again, it weren't from his lack of effort because he was running down, he was chasing, he was doing what he's been doing for the last few games, which I like. Because if you're not scoring as a front man, you've got to be working hard.
Yeah. I wouldn't go too harsh on Aubameyang. Maybe a 5. Penalty, you can miss a penalty. Yeah. The touch for Saka's disallowed goal was terrible. I think that was probably the worst of the lot. I saw someone on Twitter that with his touch for Odegaard's shot that he's a striker and that's his instinct to sort of
it is
follow balls in. I mean, at the same time, I understand it, but you still got to try and use your brain. But I know in the split second, it's hard to make that decision.
I don't think it was a case of. It's all instincts. It's all split seconds.
Yeah. There's not a lot of time to think.
For me, that weren't a case of, I got to put this in because it might not go in. It weren't that. This felt like I'm having this. I'm having this, and then he's looked. He's like, oh,
it's going in, but I want to make sure it goes in.
Yeah. Because he looked straight away. And he's like, I'm offside. No, I'm offside.
He knew.
He knew straight away. He knew straight away. Abba gets a 5 from You're Not. I think 5's a fair one. It's not to dig him out too much, but come on, mate, come on. I don't even know the subs. Who are the subs? Oh, Odegaard.
Odegaard, come on.
Odegaard, come on. We give him Odegaard. Let me just call him Mo.
Maybe a 6. Possibly. He done okay. I don't think he got that 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes maybe. Plus injury time.
Yeah, I like some of his touches. I don't think he's too far off getting back into the team, to be fair. I think people are writing him off too easily. This is a class act. He's been playing in men's football since he was 15. And he's only 23. So he's got plenty of time on his hands, and I'm glad we've got a player like him in the team because I just think once he really settles in, once he finds his position in the team, I think he's going to be an absolute asset for us. Yeah. Who else came?
El Nene.
Oh, El Nene. There was a point where he was in the box And I was like, he's gonna cut it back. He's gonna go backwards here. He could just shoot. And to be fair, he was right to go backwards.
Yeah.
And we nearly scored from it, but nothing came off it.
Yeah.
We're giving El Nene.
Yeah, maybe a 5.
Hard to give El Nene a 5
if
he gets
5
a hat trick.
yeah.
He's such a basic player.
Yeah.
He come on, done a job, shored it up. El Nene gets a 5. Was that it? Was that it for subs?
Martinelli as well.
Martinelli.
Literally, he got 5 minutes, didn't he, Martinelli?
It's not even any point. Martinelli, come on. Who was it? Who dropped? Oh, it was Odegaard. Odegaard and Martinelli in the corner, and Odegaard dropped a little through your legs. That was nice. That was nice to watch. I could watch that all day, but only because we won. There's no point in giving Martinelli a score. Burnley guard. He's not feeling Odegaard at all. He called in poor regard, Burnley guard. How are you giving him a 4? This is premeditated, mate. And then our 4. I can't really argue too much about NNE's scores really. Like it is what it is. NNE. You come and done a job, and can't really argue.
But yeah,
Mikel Arteta.
Well, I guess what can we give Arteta? I guess we'll go with the same as nearly every other player. We'll give him a 7. It was a tough. It ended up being a very tough game, tense. But in terms of his starting 11, he picked a team that was pretty hard to argue with. Mm-hmm. Substitutions were fine, I guess. Lacazette for Odegaard sort of picks itself, doesn't it? It could be any stage of the game, and that's probably always a sub that's going to happen, just purely because of Lacazette's fitness, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And that could easily have come away with a draw in that game if it wasn't like either managed correctly or any silly changes. So we'll give him a 7. But we'll move on. It wasn't the greatest performance, but delighted with those points.
And your final thoughts? Good win.
Yeah, great. Honestly, great win. Not a great performance, but look, we're expecting a lot, aren't we, to have these amazing performances every week. It's not going to happen. I don't think we spoke about Tavares. Tavares was another positive.
Yeah.
Tavares, he probably gets a 7 as well, but his fitness is amazing, isn't it? Like he is.
Yeah.
Amazing energy in the last few minutes. He's still bombing on, and he doesn't look tired. The way he runs and moves, he just looks like he'd go forever.
Yeah, and that's another one where defenders will be like, Tavares today. It's the same as, and it's like for like with Kieron Tierney with regards to they've both got an engine where they can run all day, and it's relentless for them fullbacks. So they can't cheat. They can't get forward and not get back, and they generally because you've got someone else on that left wing that's going to be doing the same thing. You're not going to get away with your winger going forward and not getting back to support you as well either. Yeah. So a couple of things that Tavares does need to sort out in his game is just his composure around the box and make key decisions. Because I just feel like when Tavares does get in around the box, he's always looking for that shot. He's always looking for the opening to shoot. Now that can be that's good to a certain extent because he's very attacking and forward thinking. But there's certain times where he can just have a bit of composure and cut it back. Like for instance, the header. Yeah. The header that was probably about 15, 20 yards out, and he's tried to give it the old neck muscles and put that into the top corner. If he just cuts that back to Lacazette and Aubameyang who are sitting in the area, that's a goal. That's an easy goal. Yeah. And in a game where we only went 1-0, that could be the difference in the next one we play. So good performance from Tavares again. Key decision not to bring in Kieron Tierney in, and it keeps people on their toes. Kieron Tierney will know that he has to now work to get his spot back, and it's not just a given that he's just going to come straight back into the team. And yeah, it sends a good message to the rest of the players in the team as well, and especially Nuno Tavares.
Yeah, the league. You know, we're looking a lot better in the league table now. It's worth sort of looking at the league table now, isn't it? A few weeks ago, it was hard to lay eyes on, and now you don't mind looking at it so much. And you know, look, since the first 3 games, you can't knock the team. They've been brilliant. They've picked up a lot of points.
Yeah,
and you know, we're now looking up as opposed to sort of over our shoulders. And we've given ourselves a chance now going into this international break of, you know, hopefully challenging for a European spot of some sort, which looked very unlikely earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I had to and fro's with people telling me that teams like Aston Villa, Brighton were all better than Arsenal. But like seriously, they're just not. Like Brighton had a good start to the season, and like they've done well. But you've got to look at take these teams on how they've done previously as well. You've got to see how this team's done over a long period of the season, over the full season, and what their squad depth is. And the teams like Brighton don't have the squad depth that other teams have. Look, although not in the greatest of form, some of these players that we've got on the bench, we had the option to bring on Odegaard. We had the option to bring on Pepe. We've got international sites, Cedric, that we could bring on. Brighton don't have that. So these teams are not even a worry for us. Man United are a team who's not in great form at the moment, so we should be able to take them over this season, hopefully. And it's just about keeping consistency now. Teams that were above us previously before, Brentford, we're way down the league because they're a new team. Yeah, they had a great start to the season, but they've lost 4 on the bounce. Leicester, not great form. Everton, another team that people said that were going to take us over this season as well, way down here. What Arsenal needs to do is they need to keep winning these games. We only play this team, this team twice in the season. So it means we've got all these other games to collect points from, and we should do. That's what I talk about when I talk about progression, consistency, a team that want to seriously get into this top 4. All these teams are the teams we need to be looking at and saying, we need to get a win here. If we drop points, get a point against these certain teams like this, Leicester, it happens. But your bread and butter for me, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, Watford, Leeds should be a win because they're so open. They're so open. Brentford, it was a one-off. We should take them on next time. Southampton, you need to be getting points off. Everton's, Crystal Palace's, Tottenham, yes, because they're, Conte now. Wolves, Brighton, these are the teams that we should be getting our points off. And what will be important is when we take on teams like West Ham as well. Fixtures coming up, we've got Liverpool coming up, Newcastle, Man United, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Leeds, Sunderland, and we've got to beat this mug. Gary Johnson Lee Johnson talking too much. That team needs to get slapped, absolutely smashed off the park. But this here is another massive period for us. Liverpool, if we can get a point from that, and I'm being honest, if we can get a point from that, that's a great result because Liverpool are one of the best teams in Europe, and they have been for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and we ain't there. Newcastle, 3 points. Man United, let's look to get 3 points off Man United. They're not in great form. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not doing great with them at the moment. Everton, let's get 3 points off of them. A tough game away from home. Home games, we need to be getting points, taking points from West Ham, taking points from Southampton, Leeds, Sunderland, Norwich, Wolves. If we go that, if we take this as a mark this point here at January the 1st against Man City and see where we are. If we do well here, we're seriously talking about a top 4 position at the end of the season. Seriously. And Jerome is rubbing his hands at the thought of it. All right. Cool. Thank you very much for joining us today, Jerome.
Yeah, of course. Always good after a win.
Good. Oh, Johnny said something good. Hard fought out result. We would have previously thrown the points away. They can't always be pretty. That's exactly what Jerome was saying. They can't always be pretty. Sometimes these are the most enjoyable, the hard fought out ones. Usually it's when we get a last minute win, but I'll take it. I don't care. We could have got more goals. It could have been 3 or 4, but I'll take the win. All was important for me was a win. Clean sheet, added bonus. It's just about the win for me. All right, thank you very much for joining us in the post match reaction and the players' ratings. You're not champion, mate. Love it. Thank you for joining us in the watch along as well. I will be looking to do more of them. Johnny, thank you for joining us as well. Everyone else who joined us, please come over to KS1 TV, the Arsenal show. Smash that like, smash that subscribe, and the bell button so you don't miss out on anything. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.